yet they were all alone.
Well,
Bloody frickin' God!
so the Vikings beat the Falcons, a team they just seem to kind of match up against really well. Falcons they just seem really soft. So I want to start with something positive for once though. Anthony Harris. I love Anthony Harris. This guy is just a playmaker. The way he plays with such fire, the way he makes big interceptions, challenging interceptions, recovers fumbles. He was responsible for 3 turnovers in that game. And in the second half, the Falcons were driving. They were about to make a game of it, cut it to 2 touchdowns, which could have changed the game. He makes a big interception in the end zone and pretty much seals it. I just love that guy. We need more guys like him, and we don't have many more guys like him. That is the problem with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins. So he only had to throw the ball 10 times. And had 3 near fumbles. Like, the Vikings basically took him out of the game. Zimmer took the game completely out of his hands. And he nearly had 3 fumbles. He had 1, I think. Actually, he had 2, that's right. He fumbled the snap. And had a fumble. Had the incomplete pass that was like this close to being a fumble. There's going to be games where he's going to have to throw like 30, 40 passes. He'll have like 50 or 60 near fumbles in those games, so he's not able to be safe with the ball. And of course, part of that's the offensive line. He drops back. He has no time to throw. All of them get pushed back 5 yards immediately. But it's really his just complete lack of awareness. But hey, and he only had to throw the ball 10 times. So you've got your $28 million quarterback who you basically try to take the game completely out of his hands. It's a brilliant use of your salary cap, Mr. Spielman. Saw some other things we always see. Xavier Rhodes got torched in the first half and then immediately took himself out of the game, faking an injury. Anthony Barr
Wants no part of Josh Allen.
got a sack on the first play and then completely disappeared.
Offside. Defense number 55.
Out of the backfield.
Everson Griffen. Offsides on 3rd and short.
He gets about 2 of those a game.
He had the same cast of clowns.
And he was just named and voted by his teammates as one of the team captains.
But what I see with this game, something that just kind of happens all the time with Zimmer teams, they get a lead and then they just kind of completely take the foot off the gas. It happened when they're up 21-0. Atlanta starts driving, the Vikings go into their prevent, and they just pray for the game to end. It's not just prevent defense, it's prevent everything. Prevent offense, run up the middle, get nothing, punt. They start really strong, then they just peter out. Other games, they start weak and they stay weak.
This is the most meaningful game for the Vikings, and right now this defense really hasn't shown up.
You don't see a lot of games where they just kind of ramp up as the game goes along. And that's kind of what separates them from the really good teams. But also Mike Zimmer teams seem to be sloppy. I don't know if it's Zimmer so much or it's just the players in general that he has are just sloppy and stupid. But
The silly penalties, they gave up first downs on 3 defensive penalties, offsides, and some of the silly penalties from a defensive point of view with hands to the face.
Constant offensive holding, pass interference. The Vikings have, without question, the most overrated pass rush in the history of the NFL.
I think it's safe to say it's the best defensive line in the NFL.
The announcers, the best defensive line, hands down, in the NFL. Best pass rush in the NFL. Maybe average. Okay. Maybe average. But I guess we'll learn next week how the season's really going to go. Going into Lambeau Field. It's going to be hard for them to score, I think. Kirk Cousins might actually have to throw the ball more. So he'll, instead of almost fumbling 3 times in 10 pass plays, he'll actually fumble 10 times in like 7 pass plays. But if they win, hey, they're going to go to the playoffs probably. If they lose, I'm going to be on top of the building for a while until I jump. My guess, 9-7. That's my guess. So our awards for this week, the Kirk Cousins Award for garbage passing statistics. I mean, you talk about a Hall of Fame garbage passing performance. Matt Ryan, mwah. You know, he had the that long garbage pass at the end of the first half when they had no timeouts and the clock was going to run out. Had no chance of leading to points, but boom, 30, 40 yards. and then 2 garbage touchdown passes in the second half. And, you know, in a sense, Ryan was bringing them back when they were down 21-0, and Anthony Harris made that interception in the end zone. I wonder, did he kind of know they weren't going to win? So he's like, you know what? If I get a touchdown pass here and make it close, I will not win the garbage passing statistics award. So he threw that knowing he could come back, get 2 more touchdowns later, and hands down win the Kirk Cousins award for garbage passing statistics. So congratulations, Matty Ice. The award for the moment I had the briefest delusion that the Vikings were a Super Bowl team. That was like Dalvin Cook's first big run. And then the award for the moment I knew the Vikings weren't a Super Bowl team. That was like 3 seconds later when Cousins had his like near fumble. And I was like, oh, yep, offensive line, Cousins, here you go. This is what we have to look forward to. The My Ex-Wife at One Point Being Attractive award for something I'm pretty sure I hallucinated. That was that successful challenge Mike Zimmer had in the first half.
Well, they've changed the ruling on the field. Initially called a fumble, and after further review, an incompleted pass.
The My Ex-Wife having a fake mental breakdown for something that happens once a week. That was Mike Zimmer. In the second half, having a completely stupid challenge that made no sense. Number 1, it wasn't ever going to get overturned. And number 2, if it did get overturned, there was another penalty on the Vikings that would have been enforced and given an automatic first down. So it's like, yeah, you win a lot with that challenge, Mike. And in a big, close game, I can just see that coming back to bite us.
I just think this is a call that's going to stand.
And it does indeed stand.
The Brad Childress Award for the worst play call in history. This could also be the, what was the guy last year, the offensive coordinator who got fired? I don't even remember. They ran this like really slow developing screen pass to Kyle Rudolph. Like the slowest guy in the team. You have Dalvin Cook. You get Dalvin Cook in space. The guy just, he's like a torpedo. But instead, let's run that to Kyle Rudolph. And it wasn't successful. And that's just more of that brilliant play calling where you take your talent and use it in the worst way possible.
They're going to get Riley Reed for pushing the back, which actually was the block that sprung Kyle Rudolph.
That's the Zimmer way, the Rick Spielman way, and the Viking way. So my ex-wife lookalike of the week.
It's pretty good, though, Chris. Now, what about her? She looks pretty committed.
She is.
And the Richard Simmons fan of the week goes to this guy.
Now there's a big league outfit.
Then I'd like to close with the out-of-context Police Academy clip of the week.
Huh. Oh.